Hello PEI. Today we're diving into some observations shared by Mike Montague over at RE/MAX Charlottetown Realty. He's got us thinking about Trump and those tariffs he loves. Specifically what they could mean for Canada right here on the island. The initial thing that jumped out, at least for me, from what Mike shared, was the potential impact on lower income families.
Yeah. You're talking about the increased cost of living.
Yeah. I mean, the source was pretty clear. Say we're talking about price hikes on basically everything, groceries, clothing, even bigger ticket items like cars, building supplies, that kind of thing.
Right. And that's a real concern, especially considering how many Canadians are already struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Rising housing costs, wages not really keeping up, all those sorts of things. Adding these tariffs on top of that, it could really put a strain on folks who are already feeling the pinch.
But here's where things get a little bit, unexpected. Just maybe these challenges could actually push Canadians to be more financially responsible.
Interesting. Sounds a little counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Like, how do higher prices lead to better financial decisions?
Exactly. But think about it. When everything gets more expensive, you're probably going to be a bit more careful about what you spend, right?
Sure.
Like maybe you'll skip those impulse buys at the checkout. The candy bar, the magazine.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Or maybe think twice about ordering takeout and cook at home a bit more. Basically, you become more mindful of where your money's actually going.
Yeah. Those little things can definitely add up. I've been trying to be more conscious of that myself lately. Making coffee at home instead of hitting up the coffee shop every morning.
Yeah, exactly. Small changes. People might start buying less stuff overall.
Okay. Less retail therapy.
Right. And when they do buy, being more picky.
Yeah.
About the quality.
Yeah.
Maybe looking at where things are made. Supporting local businesses whenever possible. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So instead of just going for the cheapest option, you're really thinking about the value, the long-term impact of your purchases.
Exactly. And over time, these seemingly small changes, they can have a real ripple effect.
How so?
Well, think about it. Less impulse buying probably means relying less on credit cards, which could free up more money for savings or paying down existing debt.
You might even be in a better position to invest.
Right. So instead of constantly feeling like we're playing catch-up, this difficult situation with the tariffs and all could actually give us the push we need to get ahead financially. Kind of a silver lining, maybe?
It's a possibility. Yeah.
Of course, it's important to acknowledge that this wouldn't be without its challenges. I mean, for a lot of people, these price increases would be a real hardship.
Absolutely. And we can't lose sight of that.
But if everyone starts spending less, does that hurt businesses and the overall economy, I mean?
That's a good question, and it's something to consider for sure. I mean, a decrease in consumer spending, it could lead to slower economic growth in the short term.
Yeah.
And some businesses might struggle, especially those that depend on people spending on things they don't absolutely need. But there's also the potential for positive changes, too.
Oh, so?
Well, businesses might need to adapt, become more competitive, offer better value to attract those more cautious consumers. That could lead to innovation, new products, new services, maybe even a more resilient economy in the long run.
That's really interesting to consider. So it sounds like what we're saying is these tariffs, which most people see as a negative thing, could potentially have these ripple effects.
Yes.
Impacting how individuals manage their money and even the broader economy. It's like everything's connected.
It is. It really is. And that's a key takeaway here. Economic policies, they have complex effects. Multifaceted. And sometimes those effects are unexpected.
Yeah.
It reminds us to look beyond just the immediate impacts. Think about those potential long-term consequences, both the good and the bad.
Absolutely. Lots to think about.
Definitely.
Hello, PEI. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
It was brought to you by Mike Montague, RE/MAX Charlottetown Realty.
Your island realtor.
Your island realtor.